Good morning, welcome to a morning outlook. This is Kim speaking on Monday, 23rd of October. So, looking at the markets, actually, before I look at those, let's just look at the news events let's go for this week actually, because we're here we go. So nothing today. It's a very quiet day today, programmed in terms of there's absolutely no significant news coming out there with any impact. Tomorrow, going ahead tomorrow, much more important day. We've got the French, German and European, and then the UK, then the US flash manufacturing and services data. So it's all coming out tomorrow. Normally a busy day, can be a bit volatile, so it's something to watch out for tomorrow. And then on Wednesday we start coming into the central bank decisions. We've got inflation in Australia, central bank decisions. So as soon as we start getting down those routes or going down those routes, we're more likely to see a bit of holding and chopping. Although it's Canada, the Bank of Canada this week, Reserve Bank of New Zealand statement of intent there as well on Friday. So, ECB press conference, of course ECB, I missed that out amongst all of this as well. That's expected to stay the same, but all the same, the effects will be shown on the markets. So let's have a look at the markets. We'll start off with looking at the euro dollar. Daily wise, well, it's really chopping pretty much sideways at the moment. It's you come down into the 4-hourly pictures, see it a little clearer, and last week was quite range bound. I expect more of the same through or probably Thursday. We'll see tomorrow morning. We obviously, with the data coming out tomorrow, we could see some volatility in it, and subject to that data, it could have a more lasting effect leading into Thursday. Anyway, what we got on the 4 hours here is a slight higher low. It has found some support into its weekly pivot here. If I was just to come down to an hourly chart here, you just see it's into its weekly pivot, and it's just testing it at the moment. It'd be interesting to see into the next session whether it can pass that. Let's just look at the daily pivots here. So the pivots are really pinched today from Friday's data, or price action was rather limited, and this looks pretty limited, so nothing sitting there at this stage. The pound, it's not too dissimilar in terms of price action in the bigger scheme of things. It's pretty choppy sideways daily wise. 4 hourly, okay, it was dropping more on the softer side. It's caught a bit of a bounce through the Asian session, and it's not the best of looking markets. It's got perhaps a better looking scope for the upside, or a bit of continuation of this sort of move. A break of these highs here gives us a higher low, and short term might see some further upside, but quite ugly looking. The dollar yen still untradeable, still a similar picture in terms of just chopping the range of these bars. Look how small the ranges have sort of dropped down, very tight movement, pretty untradeable again. So I know it's difficult sometimes to be sitting on your hands, but you just got to sit on your hands or do something else. There's not even swing trades that I can see on these majors at the moment. There was a couple of cross pairs that looked like they had a good chance of going last week, but even they have gone pretty consolidated, and you see it through these time frames. The Aussie dollar here down the 4 hourly, as soon as you go down you see it in a lot more detail. It's chopping at the moment. The only good thing about this is at some stage it's going to fire out, and we'll probably get a decent bit of price action, some good volatility, but every point of consolidation is followed by craziness. It's just getting on it then. Of course, US dollar CAD still is heading its way up south sort of thing, probably clearer than some of the other markets. It's quite variable though. Friday, right mess. It looks at one stage like it was going to continue to roll, switch back, but that's the way things are running at the moment. New Zealand dollar, Again, well, this was one that was in fact may give some opportunities, but it's looking for sell points into weekly pivots, etc. But look at the way it's just like the Aussie, just gone sideways. So it's a pretty similar story throughout. Euro yen, same old story. If you come back to dailies, look at this. It's now been nearly 2 months of well, a month and 3 weeks or roundabouts. It's been sitting in this range, not going anywhere. Euro pound looked like it might have just that shooting star looks like it's a start of maybe signs of a bit of weakness there, but I wouldn't go looking to trade short on this. It could still come down, find some support into the weekly pivot and bounce back up. So at the moment, yes, it's in the shorter term frames, it's looking a bit softer, but it's quite choppy there. I would leave that alone. Most of the cross pairs are similar-ish. There's not a lot out there. I was looking at the pound Aussie, discussed this last week on the higher time frames. Was looking to see if we got more of a breakdown to the downside. I was actually looking at the Icanashi bars here. It started coming off okay on this bar here. Just needed to break the lows, never happened. So, and it's gone pretty sideways at the moment. I've adjusted my trend line to the low there for now, but flag stays there, but not ready to go yet. So when things start moving, perhaps we'll have something to trade for. Right, just quick look at the other markets. Look at gold. Switch. There we go. Just switch gold on here. Oops. Switch markets as well. So gold, it looks like it gapped down last night into the open. Just looking at yep, it certainly obviously gapped down there, pushing back up again this morning. Still remains bullish to me in these markets, so long as we've got the situation in Israel continuing, and so long as there's conflict in that region, it's risk of others joining in. It's not looking good. So gold is benefited from that. Oil, seen oil coming off again. Yep, it's off this morning. It sort of popped and dropped really, but it's been running in. You've seen these the higher frequency of retracements here. Just looking like actually it might adjust further southbound at the way it's going for now, but has been putting, of course, higher lows, higher highs, but it hasn't actually put the bearish signal there. But it's a weak. There's certainly a weakness in this upper movement. Okay, looking very briefly, look at the Nikkei just to give us a flavour of the Asian markets here. So off again, no surprises there. S&P slightly up in trading. Where from open, but you can see it's broken my sort of major trend. It just popped the weekly chart on there, so it's breaking this weekly chart last week. Very weak looking bar, and looks like we've got further downside to come on that. I've just got to check it this morning, but the big money was coming out of the S&Ps as well, so it all sort of shapes up pretty well for that. The big money on the big picture as well, I should say. Okay, looking then, just come close to home then, DAX, well, catching a bit of a bounce at the moment. It probably is a point of looking for a sell opportunity off of this, but again, just be careful. It can be very choppy, but the trend itself is sitting there. It's actually probably clearer than some of the other markets. It's just a case of waiting now for the continuation to the downside by the looks of things. The FTSE, again, solid. I mean, 3 solid down days last week, and I mean, again, wait for some sort of retrace on this, and maybe we'll see a continuation. Daily pivot might be a good place to start looking. Another little flag towards the bottom there. So all in all, there are potential some opportunities there. Just wait for some retracements on the equity markets. Forex markets at the moment quite sticky. Gold looks like a long. You just wait for retracements to buy in at discount rather than just chase after things. But that's pretty much it for me. I wish you a great day's trading. Trade safely. Don't just jump on a board just to be in a trade. You're better off sitting there wishing you're in a trade than wishing you're out of a trade. Take care. Bye for now. There we go.